Aaron Rodgers was in attendance for today's minicamp. Let me show you my shocked face. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today was day one of the actual minicamp that was mandatory for all players that were signed with the Green Bay Packers to attend. Reason I state that is because Allen Lazard was not in attendance, but he is technically not signed with the team. But with today and tomorrow, the media was granted access to watch the minicamp and post some videos onto their Twitter or their websites during certain portions of the actual minicamp. So come Thursday, media access will be closed off. So figure we'd see some of the clips that were posted by several media reporters on Twitter and react to them. So the first one I have here is Bakhtiari going through the agility drills. He was not in attendance for last week's OTAs, and it did raise a lot of eyebrows. Matt LaFleur said he was going to come back during camp. I thought it was going to be training camp, but it looks like mini camp, and he's going through with the rehab group. And he actually looks good. I'm actually glad to see this. He looks very fluid. Looks like he's got good strength in his legs. So hopefully that's a good sign that he'll actually be our left tackle. All right, and then here we have a pass from Rodgers throwing deep to AJ Dillon. A nice over the shoulder catch by Dillon. All right, and here we have a clip of Sammy Watkins catching a ball from Jordan Love. It looked like it's a nice catch over the shoulder. Sammy Watkins was in attendance for the second day of OTAs, or the second week of OTAs. He wasn't there for day one of week 2 because apparently he was one of the players whose flight was canceled, but he did show up for the non-media one, so he has been on the field practicing every week. All right, and here we have another clip of Sammy Watkins receiving a pass from, I'm going to assume that's Etling, since number 19 looked like he was gearing up to throw the ball to him. Here's a clip that I'm sure a lot of people wanted to see finally in action. Aaron Rodgers throwing deep to Christian Watson. Now these are just jog run-throughs, but hey, it's a pass from Rodgers to Watson. Hopefully we see a lot more of that. And then we have one here of Rodgers throwing to Cobb. Cobb with the short hands like usual. And that connection's always there. Then the last one, we have Rodgers throwing to big dog Mercedes Lewis. Glad he's come back. He's going to be a great mentor, great run blocker. And I still think he could do things for us. Now switching over to defense, we have our new $84 million man in Jair Alexander. Looks like they're going over some fumble drills. Good recovery there. Then we got number 30. Got to work on that, but he'll get there. That's why they do these drills. Now, before I start the next clip, I did have to look up who number 30 was. It's actually our safety, Sean Davis. All right, so continuing on, we have Jair going back in coverage. And the pick. All right, so apparently this is working on the ball skills. He has nice hands. Very fluid, great catch. Caught in stride, very natural looking. Not a doubt. And on to our last clip, we have here Devontae Wyatt shutting the block. And that man probably saw his life flash before his eyes because that man is huge. My goodness. So those were all the clips I was able to find on Twitter for our minicamp today. Nice to see Rodgers out there. I saw a lot of reports saying, hey, Rodgers has shown up to minicamp. I'm not really sure if that was really a surprise to Packer fans or to a lot of people. Like, yes, last year he had his beef, but this year he signed a contract. He's obviously here for the Packers. Whatever happened last year has been resolved. So it sounded like clickbait, honestly. Now, some further things to note of this minicamp. As I stated earlier, Allen Lazard was the only player that was absent from minicamp, yet he's not technically signed with the Packers. So yes, it's mandatory, but I guess not mandatory for him. Then with the rehab group, we did have Bakhtiari, Jenkins, Tunyon, Kylan Hill, Ramsey, Taylor, and Lowry over there. And with Bakhtiari over there with the rehab group, we had Yash apparently taking a lot of reps at right tackle while also taking still some for the left tackle, but he did take a lot of reps with the right tackle, which seems like he is a player that's probably going to earn that spot based off how he played last year. If he can transition over to right tackle, that's most likely his spot, which if it is, then that leaves up the center position and the right guard position and the left guard position for probably the first half of the year until Jenkins comes back. Continuing further on the offensive side, we were able to see the starting 2 receivers of the first team reps. Now, I don't know if Allen Lazard might have cracked the top 2. He probably would have, but we had Christian Watson and Sammy Watkins as the number 1 and 2. I feel like Lazard might take over Watkins. It's very hard to say. He could take over for Watson. I feel like the top 2 spots or top 3 spots, if you're not saying the slot, are up for grabs. So we still have a long off season to figure out where everyone could land on that. And then moving over onto the defensive side, we were able to see the starters of who would take first team reps. And the one that was different from like last week's OTAs was that Quay Walker has been inserted into the inside linebacker position opposite of Devondre Campbell, which means Chris Barnes has been knocked down. We figured this was going to happen. It definitely happened a little bit sooner than I expected, but I'm pretty sure the plan has always been to get Quay Walker next to Devondre Campbell. He just had to learn the playbook and start getting into practice with the Packers. Then sliding over to the defensive back group, we had a little bit of a surprise. We're trying to figure out who could potentially be playing the slot position, and they gave that to Rasul Douglas today. Rasul Douglas was asked after minicamp, hey, what's up with all the slot reps and all, and he just said it was part of the feeling out process. He's still unsure how much slot he will play in the fall. It's still early, but our defensive backs coach has stated that we could be seeing a plethora of players playing the slot position and not just one guy. One week it could be Ja, another week it could be Rasul, another play or day could be Eric Stokes, or it could be Darnell Savage, or it could be depending on the player and the player type. Because if you look at our defensive backs, Ja is obviously a shutdown. Eric Stokes, if you have the speed guy in the slot position, I could see Eric Stokes taking him. Or if you have a big-bodied receiver or a tight end in the slot, I can see Rasul Douglas taking the slot position just because he's a bigger-bodied cornerback. So I feel like our cornerback play and where people line up is going to be very based off the team we're playing and where the offensive players are lining up. So I will be interested in seeing as the offseason progresses and more practices happen, how many reps does Rasul get in the slot, or Eric Stokes, or Ja, or Darnell Savage, or maybe a third safety that comes in. And also we can't count out Nixon because he has played some slot in the OTAs the last 2 weeks. So there are a plethora of options and we may not settle on just one guy. But let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll be making more videos throughout this week of minicamp, more detailed into the positions and what we saw throughout the week at minicamp to get a better understanding, as there's a lot of information and a lot of plays. Also, if you liked the video, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. I'll be producing Packer content for the most part. And as always, go Pack Go.